Here, stop that down there, will you? Stop that. Cut it out over there, yeah. Oh, they're a dirty lot, they really are. What a lot of flocks they are I've got here.
Go marching in. When the saints go marching in, I want to be amongst that number. Good afternoon.
Hello.
I believe you are Mr. Arthur Shepherd.
Yeah, that's correct. Shepherd by name, shepherd by nature. Lo, my flock are lowing.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. That's rather good. I like that. Yeah, it's very good indeed. Hello, hello. Yeah, never thought of that one.
No, it's a bit tricky, that one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good.
Can I introduce myself? My name is Matthew. You may have heard of me and my colleagues, Mark, Luke and John.
Oh, yeah, I know you lot, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are doing an in-depth profile of Jesus, or the Messiah, as you may know him.
Yeah, I know him as Jesus.
Oh, that's right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What paper do you work on?
The Bethlehem Star.
Oh, the Bethlehem Star.
Yeah.
My wife and I take that, actually.
Oh, really?
Don't think much of your racing correspondent. I had 3 shekels on that camel in the 3:15 at Galilee. It's still bloody running.
I think one of his humps had been nobbled.
Yeah, well, something wrong. Perhaps it doesn't like soft sand. I don't know. But, you know, 3 shekels down the drain. You know, it's a lot for a working shepherd.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that, Arthur. I don't actually work on the betting side of the paper, the sporting side. I work on the more serious side, reportage.
Oh, reportage. That's very different, isn't it?
Oh, yes, yes. Anyway, Arthur...
If I take this off, I can hear better. Thank you.
Good idea, son.
Yeah.
I believe you were in on the very first moments surrounding the birth of the Holy Child.
Yeah,
now, I wonder if you could possibly tell me what happened in your own words.
In my own words?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, basically, what happened, Matthew, was that me and the lads were abiding in the fields.
Abiding in the fields, yeah.
Yeah, mind you, I can't abide these fields, you know. Well, they are unabidable fields. I mean, look around you. They are unabidable. These are about the most unabidable fields I've ever had to abide in.
Yes, I must abide by that, I think.
Yeah. But we were... It's not so funny when you have to abide in them.
No, agreed.
We were abiding in the fields,
yeah,
watching our flocks by night.
Watching our flocks by night, yes.
Because that's when you have to watch them at night, because that's when they get up to all their rubbish, you know.
Yeah.
Hot summer nights, the rams go mad, you know. Especially that one over there, he's a dirty little bugger. Stop it! Cut it out! Doing it in broad daylight in front of you. A holy man. Oh, dear. Stop that.
Well, it's only human, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose you're right there. Yeah.
It's certainly an enthusiast, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a little goer, that one. Yeah.
Oh, those were the days. Anyway, you were abiding in the fields, watching your flocks by night.
That's right.
And then what happened?
Well, much to our surprise, the angel of the Lord come down.
Oh, that must have been a fantastic experience.
Well, it made a bit of a break, you know. A bit of a change from just abiding in the fields, like.
How did you know it was the angel of the Lord?
Well, I'll tell you what the giveaway was, Matthew. It was the ethereal glow that he was emanating.
Ah.
He was emanating this ethereal glow.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw him emanating this ethereal glow, I said, hello, that's angel of the Lord there.
Yeah. Halo?
Halo, certainly. Halo and goodbye, we said afterwards. You know, he wasn't there for long. As soon as he gave his little message, he was off like a bat out of hell. Straight up in the sky, he went and vanished, the clouds parted, and that's the last I saw of him.
Yeah. Wings?
Oh, lovely pair of wings, Matthew.
Yeah.
All gossamer, shimmering in the starlight.
Yeah.
It was a lovely sight.
Must have been a wonderful experience.
Sight, yeah.
What did he say to you, Arthur?
Well, he sort of, he picked me out, like, from the other lads.
Yeah.
And he said, unto ye a child is born.
Right.
Unto ye a son is given.
Yeah. What was your reaction?
Total shock. You know, I wasn't even married at the time. I thought to myself, you know, blimey, what was I doing this time last year, you know? Could it be that little bird I met down the Shepherd's Delight? Yeah. You know, often lit down there for a pint of goat's foam, you know?
Yeah.
But then, do you know the Shepherd's Delight?
Yeah, lovely place.
Lovely place.
I can drop in there myself.
Yeah. Well, the angel of the Lord, gentleman that he is, went on to explain it. When he said ye, he didn't mean me personal like. He meant ye in a sense of the whole world.
Ah.
Under the whole world a child is born.
Yes.
Under the whole world a son is given.
He was using the universal ye.
That is what he was using, the universal ye, yeah.
Yes.
Then he went on to say,
Yeah.
ye shall find the child.
Yes.
This time he was using the personal ye,
Yeah.
because the whole world wasn't there, you know.
Right,
Just
yeah.
me and the lads.
Yeah.
To be perfectly frank, and strictly off the record, Matthew, I think he is getting a bit muddled up with his ye's.
Well, mind you, I suppose you get a bit muddled up with your U's.
That's a good point, yeah. So's that bloody ram over there. Will you cut that out?
I don't think he gets muddled up at all. He knows exactly where he's going, I think.
Yeah, you're right there, yeah.
No, anyway.
He said, ye,
Yeah.
the personal ye,
Yeah.
ye shall find the child
Yeah.
lying in a manger,
Yes,
all meanly wrapped in swaddling clothes.
yes. All meanly wrapped in swaddling.
Swaddling clothes.
Now, I suppose your first reaction was to whip over there and have a peep, eh?
Yeah, it certainly was, but
Yeah.
when I got to the stable, Matthew, I was in for a bit of a shock.
Oh.
Because when he said, ye shall find the child all meanly wrapped in swaddling clothes, I thought, you know, fair enough, he'll be fairly meanly wrapped, you
Right,
know.
yeah.
Nothing flash, nothing gaudy.
Right.
But when I arrived, it was abominable. It was the meanest bit of wrapping I have ever seen.
Really?
And what's more, the kid was barely swaddled. I would say it's the worst job of swaddling and wrapping I have ever seen in my life.
You would say a very hasty job of wrapping and swaddling had been inflicted on the child.
You may quote me on that, Matthew.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
very hasty indeed.
Yeah. Now, Arthur, think back and tell me, what was the atmosphere like in the stable on this tense, historic night?
The atmosphere in the stable, Matthew, was very, very smelly. All these cows and goats and sheep about, and they weren't being careful about, it being a special occasion or anything. It was just like normal.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting sideline.
You can understand that.
Well, now, was the Holy Ghost there?
Hard to say. He's an elusive creature, the Holy Ghost, isn't he? He flips in and out of windows, you can scarcely see him.
Yeah.
Mind you, I think he ought to have been there, in his capacity as kind of, godfather.
Yeah.
But I couldn't say I saw him, because
No.
I didn't say. I couldn't see him.
No. I suppose even if he wasn't there, he was probably there in spirit. No.
Yeah, certainly.
Anyway, I'll gather that later on in the evening, the three wise men came by. Is that so?
3 wise men arrived, three bloody idiots if ever I saw him. In they come bearing gifts of gold, frankincense and myrrh.
Oh, yeah?
Well, gold, fair enough. A little nugget of gold always comes in handy, doesn't it? Yeah,
sure,
always doing a bit of gold.
Oh, yeah.
But what is a little kid going to do with frankincense and myrrh? I ask you.
Yeah,
I mean, myrrh's the stuff what puffs put behind their ear, isn't it? But Jesus, give him all credit. Oh, he was so polite about it.
Yeah.
He sat up in the manger, adjusted his swaddling and said, thank you, gentlemen, for the lovely presents. I hope you have a nice trip back, Delightful little kid, he really was.
What a laugh. What a little
Delightful.
laugh. Yeah, very precocious, of course.
Well, speaking at half an hour old, it's pretty good going.
Mind you, not long after that, he was confounding the elders,
Was he confounding the elders?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they can't stand that, the elders being confounded, can they?
It's the one thing they can't stand is being
confounded, yeah.
He was confounding them left, right and centre, with his tremendous knowledge. He had this fantastic knowledge of algebra, trigonometry, philosophy, billiards, tap dancing.
Tap dancing and music?
Oh, yeah. Wonderful musician, Jesus. Wonderful musician. As a matter of fact, Mark was able to trace down his old music master and have a word with him.
Christ, Jay was one of the outstanding boy sopranos of his day. Had an enormous range, went from to... And I was only sorry to see him leave the choir at the age of 13. I never saw him again.
He never saw him again.
I never saw him again.
He never saw him.
I never saw him again.
He never saw him.
I never saw him.
He never saw him.
I never saw him again.
He never saw him again.
Oh, I'm interested about that musical side of Jesus. I've never heard about that. I always thought that carpentry was his main line of business,
Yes, well, it was. As a matter of fact, I talked to somebody who had an example of his work.
Really?
Hello. Yes, actually, he was round here the other day to do a bit of carpentry for me. Submitted a very reasonable estimate, far cheaper than all the other carpenters in Nazareth, I must say.